Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, unboxing time is here. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it. The Friendly Neighborhood Mail Lady, in conjunction with Jared at Centipede Press, has hooked a brother up. A package is in the mail, and it is a book from, like I said, Centipede Press. And it's actually the first book of literature, written word book that I've gotten from them in a while. The last one I got was an art book, and I showed you a video there. Very cool art book, which I don't usually collect, but the stuff in there looks so good. I said I got to get me one, and I was glad that I did when I did. But this one was a book, like many from Centipede Press, a book that nobody has read. I mean, some people have read it. Nobody means almost nobody has read Hellstone by Spruill. In fact, I've only read one thing with Spruill's name on it, and that is this right here, Nightkill. Sometimes I have to activate the time machine, and so here I am, same day, a little later on. I am in Clewiston, Florida. Ever hear of it? But I read Nightkill long time ago, probably 2007, and it was written by F. Paul Wilson and Steve Lyon, aka Steven Spruill. Strongly recommend that book about a character named Jake Knott, who had a spinal injury and a miraculous cure that has pretty much been debunked by now, but it was cool at the time. I don't know, maybe they'll be able to use stem cells to cure spinals, I don't know. But anyway, I recommend that. And now I have read something, at least with the involvement of Steven Spruill in it. Now back to the regularly scheduled program. I'm going back in time. But what got my attention, my attenzione, if you will, on this one, is it has an introduction written by perhaps my favorite author walking God's green earth, and that's F. Paul Wilson, the guy who wrote The Tomb and the Keep, the creator of the Repairman Jack series, which I do truly love, and many other fine books that I do truly love. He wrote an introduction for this book, Hellstone. So that really got my attention. And then, reading a little bit of the synopsis, the words Loch Ness Monster popped up. So it's a book. I haven't read it. I'm not going to pretend to tell you the nuances or anything else, but it's a book that includes the search for the Loch Ness Monster. And it also has artwork illustrations by David Ho, and the ones I saw looked so good. So I had to mash them buttons and get the thing ordered. 500 copies, numbered, signed copies, $80 plus shipping, and it's here. And it's in, and let's get to opening. Open up that box and see just what she looked like. I always enjoy Centipede Press's titles that I've never heard of. And so when ordering these books, it's kind of, for me, there's a lot of calculations going on, a lot of facts and figures, maneuverings going on inside the head here to try to figure out when Centipede Press comes out with a book, do I do or do I do not buy it? And I tried to use the old adage, if I try to figure out if I'm going to do something, I think, would an idiot do that thing? And if the answer is yes, then I do not do that thing. Doesn't always help. Anyway, sometimes I just gotta wing it. And I have bought some books that when I read them I did not like. But guess what? I sell those books and I keep the ones that I do like. And hopefully, hoping for the best. But it sounded cool. And an introduction by my favorite author out there. And he signed it. F. Paul Wilson signed it. I've got a whole bunch of F. Paul Wilson signed books. But great looking artwork. My true love for Centipede Press. And here it is. I made the decision. I made the purchase. Centipede ships their stuff in a great big box with lots of space for the abuse that these books might get. And then simple, basic, and to the point. Big fat bubble wrap and lots of it. Wrap it up in there And away she goes. Away she goes. That book hits the road jack. And almost there. I don't want to drop anything. So this one is Sheridan bound. Right here you can see tipped by JR. Thanks, JR. I'm hoping for the best. Mine's number 361. So we have a shrink wrap book. And a lot of people leave it right here. That's it. They take this, they put this on the shelf forever because it's a collectible mint package factory sealed book. I do not do that anymore. There was a time when I'd order a limited edition book and I'd read a trade edition version of it and I'd keep that limited edition book wrapped up nice and neat. And the internet tells us that's bad to do. And they have their reasons, and I don't dispute any of those reasons at all. I like to have my book unwrapped because I like to have my book in my hand and leaf through it and see the beauty and to verify things. And then I'll wrap the dust jacket in Brodart, and that helps to protect the dust jacket forever and ever, which is typically the part of the book that for me gets abuse. The edges get worn and things, taking them off the shelf, moving them around and things like that. So Brodart protects the dust jacket, and then careful treatment protects everything else. But I said I kept some of these wrapped up, and then one day I decided to unwrap them, Brodart the dust jackets, and I found one that was missing the limitation page. It was supposed to be a signed limited edition book, and for years I thought I had a signed limited edition book. Open it up, and the limitation page is missing. How'd you like to have that? You think you got something special, only to find out that one of the things you think is most special about that item is missing. That ain't no good. Anyway, I'm going to take it out of the wrap. I got my bench made, and it's sharp. And this bothers some people. You got a very sharp piece of steel so close to your precious limited edition item. Makes people nervous. But I've got a trick. It's 100% foolproof method. Cut the plastic, not the book. Anyway, let's get this thing out and let's take a look at what she is. I dropped my paper here. So this right here just comes wrapped in the plastic in the back of the book. I'll show you. I showed you. Ultimately what I'll do, and I'll forget, is I'll just stick it in the book and it'll stay there. It's part of the packaging. But here it is. Here is Hellstone by Stephen Spruill. And there's the David Ho artwork. And I love the looks of it. This is what I saw. I liked it so much. Look at there. I liked it so much. Now, I told you what I know about this book, but I'm getting some Clive Cussler Dirt Pit vibes from what I read about it, as well as the pictures. But I don't think what I'm going to read is anything like that. I think this is more along the lines of horror. But anyway, let me stretch out this two-sided dust jacket. And there it is. That's what I'll show you on my book with the title and the author and all that stuff. And you flip it over, and then you have something more like what one might hang on the wall. The complete illustration, all stretched out, uninterrupted and unobstructed. But it looks good. I really like it. And I like it two-sided. Although for me, I'll typically simply put it on the book and never see the other side again. I like that it's there. And then very vintage Centipede Press. You have this black cloth, which is kind of a trademark. Not 100%, but it's a trademark for them. And I like it. It's really cool. And there's a spine, hot foil stamp, two-colored spine. The text looks cool. The design looks cool. And then there's the back. The back, like the front. But very good stuff here. And let's open it up. First, I'll show you. Hey, look at the artwork there. A little mosasaurus, if you will, perhaps. But illustrated end papers. Let's see if the back is the same as the front. The back does look the same as the front. And for Centipede, people that are new to Centipede, or people that forgot what to expect when they open up a Centipede book, a lot of times you go for the limitation page, the signature page, you're going to go to the front of the book, and people will start leafing through the first few pages, and it's not there. And they start to worry, oh no, oh no. Take heart, never fear. Sometimes fear. In this case, don't fear. Go to the back of the book. Centipede Press will have your signature page. If it's a signed edition or limited edition, they will have it in the back. And you can see here the limitation page, the signatures. It's got signatures from Stephen Spruill, David Ho, and F. Paul Wilson. And it is nice. It's published by Centipede Press in 2023. Although I did get it here in September of 2024, with an introduction by F. Paul Wilson, a new afterword by the author, and artwork by David Ho. The book is typeset in Sabin and was printed on acid-free paper, limited to 500 copies for sale, plus extra copies for contributors and rights holders. Mine is copy number 361. So, if one day you see book number 361 for sale somewhere, you'll know that either I died, somebody stole from me, or I read the book and I didn't like it. It's happened. It's happened. I haven't died yet, and nobody's stolen a book from me yet. But I have read books that I didn't like, and I did sell them. So next, I want to show you, they talked about the text and the typeset, and I'll just show you what she looks like here. The page colors are my favorite. They're not the bright white. They look good. They look quality. They're easy on the eyes. You can see the text size is about, I would say, about average. Not large, not tiny, just right there in the pocket. Now the artwork, the David Ho artwork. Right in the beginning, I saw some pictures here, and I'm going to show you what I can find, show you what I see. I think this was like the back. But neat stuff here. And then our frontispiece, stretch it out a little bit. I don't want to stretch it out too hard, but it does look so good. This book, one of the things about Centipede Press is Jared likes to publish stuff that might not be well known or might not have been read by many. And he wants to get that stuff out there into circulation for more people to read some of the lesser known works that he feels deserves more attention. So he does his little corner of the world, getting attention out there for some of these books and some of these stories. This book was originally published in 1980, and from what I can find, he said, Jared being he, said it hasn't been published since 1980. On Goodreads, I did see it said that January 1st, 1981, it said it was one edition was published, but I don't know if that's true or if it's the same thing or just a weird entry that somebody made. So I don't know. I'm not claiming to know. Jared said it's been out of print since 1980, so that's what I'll go with too. He knows a lot more about the stuff than I do. But the interior illustrations, let's just look in here and see what all there is. So far, so cool. So far, so good. Let's see what else I can find. I probably won't be able to find everything. I mean, it looks like everything I found just leads to more things. So who knows? But look at there. And then a lot of the pages, the chapter headings right there. Chapter 1, you'll see a little artwork at the top of the chapter heading. Looks like there's a lot of stuff like that in here. And it looks like they may be different. So interesting, man. They make great books. They make great looking books. They make great feeling books. I'm a fan. And there is an illustration. Let's see what's on the back of that page. And nope, that's it. Some of these pages have stuff front and back, so I don't want to miss a thing. Full page. Look at here. All stretched out. Centerfold, but it's not in the center. More than your money's worth. And Centipede's high-end stuff is so nice. Their low-end stuff is so nice. They have a vast variety of pricing of books. I mean, stuff that may be 50 or 60 bucks and stuff that may be dang near $1,000. Stretches a large gambit of pricing. And I've never seen one that didn't meet or exceed expectations. So you get quality on the more economically priced stuff, and you get quality on the higher end stuff. And it's one of the things that, just look at, I'm not going to show you all of these, but variety in the chapter heading artwork as well. Some of the things that just make these Centipede Press books special. Looks cool. I don't know. There's so much in here to show. I don't know how long I want to stand here flipping through, holding up books, showing you stuff. But as long as you keep watching, I guess I'll keep at it. And if you start turning off the channel, changing the channel to a lesser programming that's not going to be as good as this, then I'll give up and I'll quit. I'm not even halfway through. And there's just picture after picture after picture. So I'm not going to get them all, but I will try to pick some. Wow. I keep saying that, and I keep stumbling into stuff. Now, these full-page illustrations are what we came for, I think. These are the good ones, and this book is 488 pages. I'm curious to see what the original paperback softcover version, how many pages that would be. Because with all of these illustrations in here, not only am I getting the feeling that this is more than just a search for the Loch Ness Monster, but with all of these illustrations in here, there's a whole lot of those 488 pages that are not words. So I wonder about the original soft cover version of this book. This is a really cool edition from Centipede Press. The $80 price range is more on the economical side for them, but there's so much in here. Such a fine treatment. Giving this kind of effort to a book that practically nobody has read. I mean, if you look on Goodreads, there might be, I can't remember, it seems like 20-something people who rated the book. That's essentially an unread book. So, a book like that almost nobody has read, getting this kind of treatment is a cool thing. Makes me excited to jump in and read it, and hoping for the best. F. Paul Wilson vouched, Jared vouched, so maybe I'll be satisfied, I'll be happy. I like the subject matter, so it seems like I can't miss. But as it goes with books, there are a lot of them that maybe seems like can't miss, but they miss. But anyway, hoping for the best here, and I'm still looking at pictures. In here, oops, don't cover up that. All sorts of wildlife in this one. The artwork helps to separate stuff, to set it apart from the time when a lot of the limited edition book publishers included none, and there still are. There's some big ones out there right now that are selling books, at least one that I'm thinking of, selling books in the $200 range. And not that long ago, I bought one for $195 or $200 without a single interior illustration to be found. Meanwhile, Jared at Centipede Press is selling this $80 book just full of some amazing artwork. A quality produced, quality bound book. Look at that top edge stain, that built-in ribbon page marker, and the binding. Oh, maybe you can see it better on the bottom. That's Smithsonian binding. This is a quality book, quality bound. And so I think the publishing world, the small press limited edition publishing world, is about as good as it's better. It's far better than it's ever been. You didn't used to get very many books like this with this kind of stuff included. And now you're getting them in all genres, in all methods of production. You have companies like Suntup Editions that are making different tiers of books. Books that are multi-thousands of dollars, then other books that are $300, $400, $500, $800, $900, and then books that are $125 to $150, $100, $200 with their different tiers. And then you got Centipede Press, which is making books $60, making books $800. They're different tiers, and they're all doing their own thing. Jared is doing some big name novels, and he's also doing books like this that nobody really ever heard of, nobody ever read. And then you got companies like Earthling, SST, Levidian. You got some of these publishers out there, some great ones, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody, and I'm feeling guilty about it already. If I didn't say your name, and I've given you any indication that I'm a fan of your work, I truly apologize. Anyway, other publishers out there, they're doing their own thing, their own methods of choosing the library that they're publishing. And so somebody like me can really have a great opportunity to pick and choose book types and book publishers and looks of books and stuff like that. It's a great time for a book collector. And when I started collecting, most authors didn't have signed and limited edition books available. Now most do. Now many of them have most of their books signed in limited edition versions, and you have publishers going back in time and catching up with the books that are already out there. So it's a great time for a collector. I can think of no more lies to tell. Thank you for watching. I do truly appreciate it. C'est la vie. Baby. To do.